Greetings, it's the new year, 12 days ago. I'm working on a New Year's video about the films that I watched in 2021, but in the meantime, since it's going to take a while to edit, I noticed that Daniel Greene, fantasy and sci-fi YouTuber, just opened a Letterboxd. So let's see what reviews he has written. Let's see if we agree, what do we think of his opinions? Good time. This movie was painful to watch in the most artistically brilliant way. I had to pause it repeatedly due to the amount of anxiety scene after scene pulsed with. Robert Pattinson plays an out-of-control selfish monster causing chaos, so naturally it's scary. Is he? Like in the movie, yeah, he's a thief, not a cook, but he's not a monster. The goal of saving his brother, of getting him out of the hospital, that's noble, right? Like selling drugs, but like at a very personal, small scale, is that too much of a crime? This movie solidified Robert Pattinson as one of the must-watch performers of our generation. I don't know about that. It is a character piece used to show how broken our systems are. Yeah, I mean, I can see that for at the end, Benny Safdie. At the end, the brother is in this like group or this institution where he's going to integrate with people who are also neurodivergent, right? I suppose that he's referring to that. I absolutely agree that neurodivergent people should be integrated much better, and that our education has a lot to do with how they're treated and understood. But at the same time, it's not like the worst fate for him. It was the worst fate for him in the movie, but realistically, it's not that grave. It allows the worst to thrive until things spiral to a conclusion that in hindsight feels inevitable. I'll never watch it again, but I'm so happy I did. I'll watch it again. I watch it again because I like that part, of course, but that guy was like, you don't know the first thing about me, bro. Fuck you, bro. That guy is so funny and entertaining because he's such a loser. I'm not one to really have anxiety. I don't have anxiety, so watching any movie by the Safdie brothers, I don't feel too much tension. Although the story absolutely it is crafted in a way that it really escalates. Everything goes wrong. Everything is getting worse. So as the story progresses, yes, like that is very well done. 4.5 stars seems sensible. Yeah. What We Do in the Shadows. I'm not the biggest fan of the talk to the camera format made it so popular by The Office, but goddamn does this absurd ass movie make it work. Yeah, I think it's maybe my favorite Taika Waititi movie, at least until the Incal comes out. Whenever I wasn't laughing, I had a giant grin on my face. This movie sits as king of awkward fantasy humor for me. Yeah, it's one of the best aspects of it, being fantasy, horror. And yeah, it's really, really funny. I think that I watched it 2 times consecutively. If I recall correctly, as I finished it, my brother came in and saw like the last scene, the post-credit scene, and then I just replayed it so he could see it too. It was a good time. It is a good time. 4 stars. It deserves 5 stars. I haven't seen either Wellington Paranormal nor the Fox show of What We Do in the Shadows. I have to, I've heard very good things about both shows. Jojo Rabbit. Finding the balance of stating something important without crossing the line into annoyingly blunt is something countless films have struggled with. Jojo Rabbit dances on the line in the most hilarious yet gut-wrenching fashion. What's so gut-wrenching about Jojo Rabbit? There is one scene that is tragic and sad. Like if you've seen it, you know which one. Maybe the most rewatchable film with Hitler in it. There's The Great Dictator. Even the Last Crusade and the third Indiana Jones movie. It is true that the best aspect of this movie is Taika Waititi's take on Hitler, because it is purposefully not at all like the man, because it is the perceived image of this boy who only idealizes him, has never seen him probably, and who doesn't even understand his cause, right? So this portrayal is very good in that sense. I've shown this masterpiece to more people that I can remember, and every single one has loved it and remarked how surprised they were it wasn't more commonly talked about. To me, it is perfect. I really do not see the hype for Jojo Rabbit. I saw it, and I was very disappointed by the end. Like, this first sentence, like, the message, what is special about the message of Jojo Rabbit? What is there to learn here? No, it is a satire of hate. It evidences the absurdity of the anti-Semitism that the Nazis had. Anti-Semitic conspiracies are absolutely based on fantasy and lies and all that. So it shows, you know, the just sheer stupidity of it all. In that sense, it's very broad. The satire of the aggression of the might makes right mentality that the Nazis held and that the Hitler Youth displays in the movie, that is more particular to this subject matter, to the Nazis. That was the whole point of Lebensraum. Yeah, the message, it is good, but who is it going to persuade? Like, you already know this. Outside of that, the cinematography is very derivative of Wes Anderson, and in the end, it's just a weaker version of The Tin Drum. Like, if you want a movie about a child growing up in Nazi Germany with balls, watch The Tin Drum, Die Blechtrommel. It's much, much better. Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. Watching this movie felt like reading an essay written by someone who walked in late to the test and only had 5 minutes to get 1,000 words down. Yeah, it gets heated. Yeah, you know, the response of I haven't seen the Rise of Skywalker, but the response to it was so unanimous that I simply have to believe it. I simply believe that it was a waste. After the response to The Last Jedi, Disney tried its damnedest to do damage control, you know, to really revert everything from Episode 8. And that's understandable, but at the same time, the people who write the story should be the ones conducting it, you know, and not the fan response, not the audience response. Personally, I really like Episode 8. It's one of my favorite of the saga. It has some of my favorite moments of the entire franchise, and it does question the pillars of the original saga, and that's something that is, you know, highly appreciated. To me, that is very valuable, and it did move the characters and the story to to great lengths, to interesting plot lines, etc. I really liked it, and I also understand the people who would think that Rian Johnson was being like spiteful. I get that, but Disney arguably did much worse. They demonstrated that they only wanted the money, that they would do anything to satisfy, you know, the crowd by, you know, let's bring back Palpatine, let's reveal Rey's lineage. The cast was not happy about it. I don't think anyone was happy about this. Yeah, it really sucks, you know, but because I think that people deserve good movies, no matter what they are. And this is very much a studio just trying to please instead of really making a good product. Episode 9 simply seemed doomed from the start. Colin Trevorrow was going to direct it at some point. He lost that privilege, and then well, this happened. I'm not sure that I want more Star Wars movies, because in any case there's going to be many Star Wars spin-offs, but yeah, people deserved better. Dune, 3 stars and a half. They taped a cat to a rat for literally no reason. I can imagine making sense. It's weird stylistic to a severe fault, and I had a blast. Calling it Dune is almost inaccurate, but I'm so happy it's a part of the story's legacy. At least you can still say at this point in his career, Lynch was never predictable. It was only 84. Lynch was barely getting started. And even then, like, Jodorowsky knew that according to him, that if anyone could adapt Dune, it was Lynch. Apparently not. But still, I mean, there was studio interference and all that. I haven't seen this, so I cannot comment too much on it. But 3 stars and a half seems fair. And I think there's a scene with Sting in which he's, you know, like The music though, I've listened to the soundtrack, it's very, very good. I like it better than the new Hans Zimmer Dune score. My mom watched it when it came out and she was bored by it. So I don't know, maybe this rating is fair. The Witcher Nightmare of the Wolf. This just didn't click with me on many levels. The animation and voice work was really strong, but the story itself and characters felt disjointed and underdeveloped. I cannot comment on this because I have not seen it. It seems like it was released last year, and I've seen half an episode of The Witcher, and it is also a series of books, so I know nothing of The Witcher. What a shame, because we need more fantasy animated movies. And The Mitchells versus the Machines, 4 stars. I went in expecting nothing special. It started all right, then it got great. The only word that feels right for this wholesome being of a movie, very sugary expression for me, is bombastic. It's such a fun, feel-good film. It is bombastic. By the third act, it escalates so much because the action escalates and the animation becomes more complicated. The camera does this to really display the action. Like very quality animation, very stylized, very influenced by Into the Spider-Verse. I like this story a lot. Normally, animated movies are shorter, but still this was worth the runtime, and the cast is also excellent and it has great jokes. Yeah, it's a very technically impressive movie that is also a good lesson on family. And those are the only reviews on his Letterboxd so far. Remember, this is a video about Daniel Greene's opinions. I have been watching his channel recently because I'm trying to write something fantasy related, and I feel like I need the opinions of an expert here. If you're interested in his opinions, then maybe check out his channel. He's also a published author now, so maybe check out that too. That's all from my part. Thanks for watching.